On the Monday, December 2nd, 2025, episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Dylan confessed to Steffi and Finn. Bill turned up the pressure for Katie to leave Forrester after Brooke and Ridge shot down her ideas. Dylan promised she would never have taken a life on purpose, but she couldn't stop apologizing for taking the life of Finn's daughter. Electra understood that it was a shock to everyone, and they wanted to support Dylan's decision to come forward to them. She pleaded with them to believe her that it was an accident, not a calculated act of revenge. Despite Luna's previous crimes against Dylan, she never thought about revenge, and there was no nefarious motive behind running her down. Will and Electra hoped Steffi and Finn understood where Dylan was coming from. Finn was conflicted about the feelings regarding his daughter, but that didn't change the fact that he believed Dylan. Never, for a single second, did he and Steffi think Dylan was the kind of person to concoct a fatal revenge plot. Not only did they believe her, but they deeply respected her. Dylan was appreciative that they had compassion in their hearts for her, even though she was driving the car that caused Luna's last breath. Steffi urged her not to feel guilty about anything relating to Luna, because she is just one of many people manipulated by the deceased murderer. They told her to reclaim her life, and Will and Electra vowed to be by her side throughout the entire healing process. Will and Electra returned to the beach house and reflected on Dylan's courage to speak up. However, they ultimately made a pact to cease any talk about Luna. Their future was too bright with her in the rearview mirror, and talking about her would just bog them down. Finn and Steffi reflected on Dylan's bravery, and Finn wanted to follow suit. He wanted to put Luna's dark cloud behind them, so they could finally move on. Steffi wanted him to work through his unresolved issues first, but he assured her that he was fine. Finn believed that with Steffi in his corner, he could easily put Luna out of his head and focus on reclaiming their life. Bill touted Katie's PR ability to Liam about how to make the acquisition go more smoothly. Katie was instrumental in facilitating Bill securing the generational company, and he was more adamant than ever that Katie and Will leave Forrester for Spencer. Liam reminded his father that Katie enjoyed her work in PR, but the issue lay in that she also loved fashion. Spencer couldn't provide the fashion outlet she sought. Despite Liam insisting otherwise, Bill admitted that he wasn't at his best during his previous marriage to Katie. He didn't want Katie to be stuck at Forrester, with her talents being wasted there. While he thought Katie running Forrester was the best idea for their company, he much preferred the idea of her jumping ship. Liam admired Bill's continued success at remaining calm and improving himself. For once, Bill was fully committed to being the man that Katie deserved. He refused to break her heart again. Bill cut Liam off mid-sentence and insisted he had somewhere more important to be: Forrester Creations. He was making a surprise visit to check on Katie and support her against what felt like a potential phase-out. Brooke pinched herself because she and Ridge have outlasted every obstacle to remain together after several decades. She was hopeful that they'd have many more years to come as well. Katie showed up in the middle of their romantic interlude, and she wasn't surprised to find them in that predicament. They were shocked to see her at work, but she declared that she remained employed there, so there was nowhere else she'd be. Katie provided an update on Will and the rest of their family. To everyone's astonishment, Ridge complimented Bill's newfound focus as a father, and he was proud of him for stepping up. Katie didn't want to dredge up the drama surrounding Luna, and she was more focused on new ideas she wanted to pitch Ridge and Steffi. Ridge was the only CEO present, but Brooke was equally interested in what her little sister had in mind. Katie proposed a multi-step approach to combat the negative press surrounding Luna's previous connection to Forrester. However, the outside PR firm's ideas were already implementing the same ideas, so Katie's were not needed. Katie was more than ready to step back into her PR role, but Brooke and Ridge weren't ready to commit to that. Katie defended her skill set and reminded the pair that she was at the helm of all of Forrester's major marketing campaigns. Katie even recalled her time as Forrester's CEO, even though Ridge only thought of it as a dark time for the company. Brooke tried to speak on behalf of herself and Ridge, but Katie wasn't having it. She responded, "Are you co-CEO now? Has Steffi been pushed aside?" Brooke denied it, and Katie looked hurt. She said she wasn't feeling any support from her sister. Ridge tried to equate it to business and not personal. But Katie's face told a different story. After Katie left, Brooke worried that Katie would take things too personally. In her office, Bill walked in on Katie, who was visibly upset by her confrontation with Brooke and Ridge. He asked what happened, and she gave him the full scope of how they overlooked her pitches. Katie felt disregarded by her sister and her brother-in-law, and she thought there would be some higher level of support. Bill looked her in the eyes and said, "You, Katie Logan, are a powerhouse. You are. You have proven yourself time and time again. You have rescued this place from one public relations scandal and debacle to another. They should be on their knees thanking you. Instead, you are underappreciated and disrespected." He reminded her yet again that working for Spencer was where she truly belonged. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Thanksgiving has been and gone, yet turkey is still on the menu. Who is the biggest turkey and why? Fans react to current events and help me give the award. Something of a Thanksgiving custom, grading characters' performances and awarding the turkey badge to whoever earned it through actions or speeches over the holiday weekend in our favorite soaps. Sounds like fun? It sure is, and here's my turkey award for The Bold and the Beautiful. As fans of B&B on the Soap Central message board said, "We may not all agree that Ridge gets the award this year, but that's what makes this fun. Practice what you preach, right? Not for Ridge Forrester, as played by the fantastic Thorsten Kaye." After praising Finn for doing the right thing, did we all gasp and go, weren't you making fun of the guy not so long ago? Finn puts family first. Well, now he does. And Ridge could sure try doing some of that. Here's what the fans have to say. Cat Mama 1 wrote, "Oh, because he always put family first. Too bad you don't follow your own words, Ridge. You have a nice family that you have tossed aside again for your Logan. I'm amazed that she let you out of her sight today. And you never mentioned your son. I found all this love and goodwill today very phony and unbelievable." Miss Lane added, "I didn't find it phony or unbelievable at all, but from Ridge I did. 'Cause he, low-key, at times acts like he doesn't like Finn, and a while back, he was laughing with Liam and calling Finn Sheila's spawn. I still haven't forgiven him for that." Proud Soap fan did not agree at all and said, "Oh my goodness, he has adult children. He has a relationship with them. Mommy and Daddy don't need to be married for him to have a relationship with his children. He did put part of his family first. He spent the day with Steffi and her children. Is he a waffle? Sure, but the criticism here to me isn't warranted." Belinda joined in with, "I think it was Ridge's way of letting them know that he still values them even though he chose to be with Brooke. I saw nothing wrong with it. He didn't mention Thomas, but he didn't mention RJ either. Big deal. I thought it was a homey episode appropriate for the holiday. I could have lived without seeing Sheila's foot and missing toe, but that's my only real complaint. Well, that and Finn going half naked out to swim in November. Way too cold for that, even in California." So with that in mind, and without further ado, I present Ridge Forrester with the Thanksgiving Turkey Award. And hopefully, we see some storylines wrapped up quickly and get back to the soapy drama we love. Here are your what to watch moments and spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of December 1st to 5. Be sure to tune in to CBS every day to see how things play out in Los Angeles. According to Soap Hub, Will and Electra reel at who ran over Luna, Steffi, and Finn are committed to moving forward. Bill attempts to sway Katie to his firm. Luna's killer confesses to Steffi and Finn. Brooke and Ridge reminisce. Katie is disappointed that her sister Brooke is not supporting her. Bill confronts Ridge over what he's done to Katie. Donna blindsides Brooke with news about Eric Deacon, Hope, and Deke spend time together. Ridge and Eric have a powerful conversation at the office. Deacon visits Taylor, and their chemistry is palpable. Steffi explains to Finn her deep connection to Eric Dillon, confessed to Steffi and Finn that she was the one who ran Luna over, which elicited a shocking reaction from Finn. On The Bold and the Beautiful, December 2nd, 2025, Dillon confessed the truth to Finn and Steffi. It struck him in the heart, which elicited a shocking reaction. Dillon returned to B&B to tell the truth. She was the driver who hit Luna the night she died. The authorities refused to disclose the driver's identity to protect their anonymity. Deputy Chief Baker had to keep that information under wraps when he confirmed Luna's death with the Spencers and Forresters, but Dylan wanted to come forward. The truth was too much for her to bear. She regrets what she did that night. So, she paid Electra a surprise visit last week at Forrester Creations. Soon enough, the news spread, and Electra, Dylan, and Will showed up at the Cliff House with news for Finn and Steffi. Dylan confessed she was the one who hit Luna with her car. At first, Finn appeared to be upset with Dylan. We assumed that his grief could cause trouble in his marriage to Steffi. Finn admitted that he had conflicting feelings about his daughter. Luna had many opportunities to change, and she didn't. But Finn knew that Dylan was a good person who didn't hit Luna out of revenge or rage. Also, Finn and Steffi knew Hayes liked her, and so did they. They still trust her enough to have their kid around her. In a surprise twist, Finn told Dylan he believed her. Then, he gave her a hug. He didn't harbor any hate towards Dylan. Finn felt regret for not being a positive influence in Luna's life, but he knew he couldn't. He's not going to beat himself up for that. He advised Dylan to do the same. He believed that Dylan could reclaim her life after this ordeal. Electra and Will promised Dylan that they would be there for her. Dylan admitted how guilty she felt for killing Luna, but Steffi told her not to feel guilty. The couple offered their support, and Steffi hugged her. This storyline might finally be getting the closure it needed. After Dylan left, Steffi said it would take time for Dylan to move forward. Finn told his wife that he wanted to put this Luna horror story behind him. He needed to move on. They needed to move on as well, for everyone's sake. They went through this ordeal for far too long, and they made a pact not to discuss Luna anymore. Finn assured Steffi that he was fine because he was happily married. But is he really fine? Or will his grief come out in a different way? It'll be interesting to see how they'll be able to move on now that the threat is gone from their lives. Will Luna's death bring out Finn's guilt of not getting to know his daughter? Finn is determined to find out the identity of the driver who killed Luna on The Bold and the Beautiful. This is different from the Finn who wanted nothing to do with his evil daughter when she was alive. So, what happened? Finn wanted nothing to do with Luna when she was alive. Now that she's died for real this time, he wants to know who the driver was. By this point, the driver's name was kept under wraps. On Monday's episode, Finn eagerly called the cops, asking who had run Luna down. But what is that information going to do for him? It's just going to cause him more pain and guilt for not getting to know his daughter. Finn's grief could help release the guilt of not providing Luna with a stable father figure in her life, which she desperately needed. He can only mourn the cousin he knew during his childhood. Finn never got to know Luna as his daughter, which could cause trouble for his marriage. By this point, Sin has stayed strong together. Finn promised Steffi that he would choose her and their family over Luna, and he's maintained that attitude. However, that changed after Luna died. His demeanor changed once he learned the truth. Dylan's shocking confession could provide more Sin angst. According to the B&B preview, Finn tearfully exclaims, "You killed my daughter?" Obviously, it wasn't intentional. Dylan regrets what she did. She even apologizes to Finn for what happened. However, this could bring out feelings that he's kept aside for the sake of keeping his family together. Dylan's confession could offer closure on Luna's death. This storyline could also foreshadow trouble for Steffi and Finn. Steffi asked Finn for his true feelings about his daughter's death. He admitted that he had conflicting feelings, but he always chose his family. Finn only knew Luna as his bright, young cousin who seemed so full of hope. In recent years, he saw a disturbing dark side to Luna. He just found out this year that she was his biological daughter. That's a lot of information to take in at once. LA's top doc will have conflicting feelings moving forward. How will Steffi be able to navigate that, since she only knows of the Luna who wanted her dead? Finn could blame his wife for not allowing him to get to know his daughter, which means that Steffi might get in the middle of Liam and Hope's engagement bliss. It takes a little primping for Naomi Matsuda to get into character. Naomi Matsuda plays everyone's favorite, the bold and the beautiful Dr. Lee Finnegan. Since the show is set in glamorous Los Angeles, the actress and her character always look flawless. Now, Matsuda is giving fans a glimpse into the work it takes to transform into Lee. Matsuda gained widespread recognition after joining B&B in 2021. Her performance as the strong-willed and protective Lee immediately won over fans. Lee is often featured on-screen dealing with a medical crisis or a problem for the Nozawa Finnegan family. With more drama coming for the Finnegans, viewers will be seeing more of the beloved doctor. Recently, during a day on set, Matsuda revealed how she transforms into her famous character. In an Instagram video, the actress was seated in the hair and makeup room, getting glamorized for her scenes. "So, this is Naomi becoming Lee Finnegan, starting off with getting my hair cut by the one and only Carly." Matsuda then zoomed in on her hairdresser. As Matsuda was getting her hair cut, her co-star Annika Noel popped into the screen. "Oh, a special guest star," the two women giggled. With early morning calls at the studio, Matsuda and Noel agreed they're both tired as they applied under-eye patches. Despite being tired, the actresses were up and ready for a fun day of filming. After getting her hair and makeup done, it was time for Matsuda to show off her look. "And Lee Finnegan's here," she declared to her audience. Matsuda's transformation into Lee wowed her followers. "Gorgeous as always," wrote one fan. "Fabulous as usual. You could never have a bad-looking day," another commenter replied. B&B fans will be seeing more of Lee as the Nozawa Finnegan family deals with the aftermath of Luna's death. Lee saved Luna's life during one brush with death, but this time it doesn't seem like there will be another miracle. Luna was killed in a hit-and-run accident while fleeing the police. Although fans believe Luna might still be alive, it seems the young villainess is officially gone. Luna's death has hit Lee and her son Finn hard. Finn seems to be having a tough time with his grief, and speculation is that this could lead to a darker Finn. With Finn possibly spiraling out of control, it'll be up to his mom, Lee, to help. Since Lee is protective of her family, she'll do all she can to rescue Finn. She saved his life once, and she can do it again. Bill tells Katie that she's being undervalued and underappreciated at Forrester Creations. On The Bold and the Beautiful, December 1st, 2025, Dollar Bill is officially back before the end of the year. He wants to round up the Spencers and have them working for him again. He also had a fierce warning for the Forresters. Dollar Bill is back, and it's nice to see him in charge of everything in his life. Bill was glued to his laptop while Katie visited him at the office. She joked that while she wasn't there to party, she would like it if he focused less on his work. Bill apologized and said he had been focused on something that had been brewing for months. It's going well, but he still has it on the back of his mind. Katie also discussed her job. She mentioned that Forrester Creations hired a crisis management team to handle the Luna situation since she's too close to it, which she's fine with. However, she didn't like that they didn't consult her about it. She said it's not the first time that it's happened. It has to do with family dynamics. While Katie likes her job most of the time, she would appreciate being recognized for her efforts. Bill told Katie that the Forresters needed to value and appreciate her. If they don't, they will regret it. He would like to have Katie and Will working at Spencer Publications with him. He doesn't think Will has been valued, despite receiving a promotion in September. Bill wondered what Will's job even was. Does he help Ridge fetch pins for the dresses? Bill was adamant that Katie and Will weren't being appreciated at Forrester. He thought they would be more valued at Spencer. He reminded her that there would always be a place for them there. Katie didn't exactly accept Bill's offer. She appreciated the confidence boost, but she might consider it if the Forresters continue to exclude her from future moves. Brooke seems to be siding with Ridge's decisions, especially with the Luna situation. The Forresters want to distance themselves from Luna as much as possible, and for the right reasons, but they should have come to Katie about it first. Katie might encourage Will to make a leap to Spencer Publications. She could tell him that he would have more opportunities there. She would also be able to utilize her expertise, even if it's not fashion, which she loves. Now that Carter isn't romantically involved with Hope, Deacon is cool with him again. On The Bold and the Beautiful's Thanksgiving episode, Deacon and Carter became best buddies. As fans remember, Deacon hated Carter's guts. It got so bad that they got into a physical altercation. So, what changed? This scene surprised us on B&B's Thanksgiving episode. At Il Giardino, Daphne was doing a mic check for her upcoming performance. She performed in front of Carter, Deacon, and Sheila. They all agreed that she had an incredible voice. Sheila went to check the turkey that was cooking in the oven as Deacon talked to Carter. He showed Carter what he's been doing on his laptop. Carter said he could offer free legal advice if he ever needed it. Then, in a surprise twist, the two agreed to move beyond their past differences. At the time, Carter was dating Deacon's daughter, Hope. Deacon supported their relationship until the coup attempt happened. Then, Carter had a change of heart. He wanted to give back to the company, and he was struck by Daphne's charm and enchanting fragrance. Deacon couldn't trust Carter's intentions with his daughter. He pushed for Hope to get back with Liam, and eventually, he got his wish. Now that Hope and Liam are back together, Deacon can breathe easy. He's over the moon about their engagement news. So, he's now fine with Carter, even if he's with the nose. Deacon even invited Carter and Daphne over for Thanksgiving dinner. However, Carter said they had made plans elsewhere. The new couple wished Sheila and Deacon a happy Thanksgiving. Even Sheila was shocked to learn that Deacon had come around to Carter. What's also changed is that Deacon has been seeing Taylor professionally, which hasn't been going well as expected, since they both have burning feelings for each other. Deacon told Sheila that Taylor has made a strong impression on him lately. Sheila wanted to know what they talked about. Deacon mentioned that Taylor has gotten him to open up more. Tapping into his emotions has allowed him to change and grow. And because of this, he's able to move forward with Carter. However, what also helps is that Carter and Hope are no longer together.